Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Bret Meeser, and this is the Bret Factor movie reviews. And today, actually, it's tonight. Tonight, it's a little echoey in here, as always. I know. I still haven't gotten my gear yet. But tonight, I'm reviewing Life. I called it Live in the last review for Power Rangers, but this one, I know what it is called now. It's actually called Life. And it's starring Ryan Reynolds, Rebecca Ferguson, and Jake Gyllenhaal are like the three main people in this movie. And I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. Like when I first, I only saw this like the trailer for this movie a couple weeks ago, and it looked interesting. I think I saw it during like the King Kong Skull Island trailer movie when I went and saw that. Probably saw it back then, and it looked interesting, right? I was like, oh, this could be kind of cool. I love sci-fi movies, especially if they're like try to be in the sci-fi like. If we were in sci-fi now, like if this was 2020, we'll say, and we're in space and this is happening, I love sci-fi that's close to where we are in reality. Of course, there's some cool little sci-fi thing. Like when they do stuff about sci-fi that's close to our reality of what we can do, and they show like some future tech and stuff, I love that stuff. I'm like a big nerd for that weird future tech, like these ideas, because I think sci-fi really just drives creativity, and it has the potential to drive ideas and make us think of things of like, oh man, why aren't we coming up with this cool tracking technology and stuff? Like there's some cool little sci-fi nuggets in this movie. So when I saw the trailer, I initially just thought to myself, you know what guys, you know what this is all about? This is going to be Alien, the first one, all right, that kind of vibe. And I kind of wrote it off. I just kind of wrote it off like, yeah, whatever, that's the experience we're going to get, who gives a damn, right? But you know what, I went and saw it, and I have to say I left the theater thoroughly surprised by the movie. Like I left the theater happy. Like I enjoyed that film. Because I expected nothing from it, and I came out of it going, you know what? That was a pretty good movie. It was an enjoyable film. Of course, yeah, it is like Alien. It is. It's just like Alien. That's not a bad thing, though. That's really not a bad thing. Just because it's something that we're familiar with, it's not a bad thing. For some reason it was kind of fresh, and we knew what was going to happen. Like I've been on this earth a long time. I knew what was going to happen in this movie. I've seen Alien. We know what's going to happen. So when I'm watching this movie, I just forgot about Alien and just went into this adventure with like Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal and Rebecca Ferguson's characters, which I actually forget all their names right now. So I got to pull up my IMDb just so I know what I'm talking about. Bam. We're here. So I got it up. So we start the movie in space. We find, and I guess I should put this out right now. To talk about this movie in a critical fashion or review fashion, there's going to be some spoilers in this one in particular, because to talk about this movie, it's going to be a spoiler. There's no way to talk about this movie without spoiling this movie. Like I could easily just say, hey, you know what? It's aliens. It's a space romp. Bump. Enjoy. Hilarity ensues. But that I can't do that to you. Or you could just end it here. Guess what, guys? I enjoyed the movie. It was fun. Let's get to the spoilers. Let's talk about the film here. So we start in space. We got the whole simple thing. They're getting some samples from Mars that are going to dock with the United Space Station up there, and that's where some of the reality is. They're docking with Mars. They're getting some particles and stuff just to check out like what's going on. So the scientist, I think his name is Hugh, played by I got it here, Arian Bakari. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce it. I'm horrible with names. So he's like this lead scientist guy, and he discovers that there's life from an organism, and he starts like, the funny thing is he starts like poking and prodding it, and I'm just sitting there the whole time going, dude, you better not be poking and prodding this thing. Like, come on now. You got movies on your earth, right? You did. Like, that's the way I looked at it. Like, you got movies on your earth, don't you? You know, don't poke and prod shit down there. So it's got to be the same up here too, right? But he's in there, he's poking, he's prodding, he's feeding it. And I'll tell you, there's this little mouse in this movie, or a rat, it's a rat or a mouse, right? And I was feeling bad for the mouse the whole time. I'm like sitting there, I'm just like, man, they better be feeding this mouse. Like, he's just strapped in this little strap, like this little harness thing. He's not able to move, right? He's in space. He's stuck there in this little thing. And I'm like, you better be feeding that fucking mouse. You better be looking after that motherfucker, or else I'm going to be pissed. But let's just say, the alien dies. for a second, and then he was like, you know what, I'm gonna electrocute him. And I'm sitting there trying not to laugh. I'm just like, come on. So he electrocutes it, wakes the alien up. The alien's pissed, starts wrecking havoc. He destroys the dude's hand, and I have to say that was like, once the action starts with this alien, it does not stop. It gets tense. Like as soon as the alien is out and doing shit, tense. Like, whew. I couldn't believe how tense, like I was in there. It became a thriller. Now we're on board with this stuff. And like the alien, man, what he did to Hugh's hand, it was so graphic. I don't even, like, it was so graphic. Even I had to stop, like, kind of eating my jubes, because I was like, I'm eating Hugh's hand right now, because it comes out of the glove, literally comes out of the glove, and you just hear it just going. It just drips, because like the alien just breaks his hand into mush, right? And it looks disgusting. Like it looks like if you had a water balloon and it just popped and broke and it's just like, it's disgusting. Perfect, really good special effects on that. Like it just like flump. It was great. Oh man. It sounded disgusting. The audio on it was like puke worthy. That was like my favorite part. No, the second favorite. It was probably my second favorite part of the whole movie, because that just looks so cool. It just looks so cool. And then so they try to rescue him, and then Ryan Reynolds' character, he's like Deadpool in this movie too. Like he's just here to do one-liners and be like a tough dude in a sense, or Mr. Joe Fix-It kind of character. He's all right. Like Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds. He's fine. The one thing I was sitting there, I'm like, why couldn't they put the Canadian patch on his arm? Because like they call him, he's an American in the film, and I'm like, why can't he be Canadian? We have Canadians in space. We do this all the time. Canada in space is like, we're like peanut butter and jelly up in there, you know. So they didn't do that. He's an American in the movie, but they could have put the patch on him, made him Canadian. It doesn't matter. I was kind of hoping for a Canadian, but whatever. I regress. So he gets into the pit now, well, into the chamber, the science chamber where the alien is, and he gets fucked up. Because they do the classic alien thing. They spray it with fire. Like, it was like, that was a nod to all the people who are thinking, this movie's like Aliens. So he's spraying it with fire, doesn't die. Alien kills him. And the way Ryan Reynolds dies, it was gross, but in a good way. Like, it was gross in the alien way. Like, this alien, like, forced entry into his mouth, and it like gagged him, and it looked disgusting. And then he just died from the gagging of the alien. Like ate the insides of Ryan Reynolds, and then you just see the blood floating in space and stuff like that. Like, the elements of space that they put in this movie were pretty tight. Like, sure, they didn't have, like, the cuffs weren't floating in space and stuff like that. And they were smart with the hair. They braided everyone's hair down, so, like, you didn't see frilly hair and stuff like that. Because I know a lot of films in space, people complain about that. Like, if you're in 0G, your hair should be flying. So they were pretty smart. They had all everyone's hair was, like, tight braid, like French braids, so you didn't really get too much hair waving. And pretty much all the female pilots and space engineers and stuff like that were all in like tight braids, so you didn't get to see like weird science on that, or weird physics. I mean, not weird science. So Ryan Reynolds dies, blood's everywhere. It was cool. His death was really cool. I really liked the alien. At the beginning, I liked the alien. I'm not going to talk about the rest of everything else, like how everybody else dies, but those were like my two favorite deaths. And let me just, you guys should know, it's one of those movies where everyone's going to die. So you should already know this. It's going to happen. But I really liked the alien at the beginning, when it was just an organism, and it was just like going around being just an organism and like ripping people, like just breaking people, and it was super strong. The way the movie described it as it had the whole body was 100% muscle. Test. Okay. So there's gonna be a weird break right here. I'm sorry, guys. My plug for the microphone fell out, and it caused the audio to all get all fucked up, and so I had to restart. There's gonna be a weird blah blah blah. What was I talking about? Ryan Reynolds' death was dope. Oh, the alien was really cool as an organism and how it was acting and stuff. It was so cool. But then it started getting jacked up as it kept feeding on like all this stuff, and because it could feed on water was like one of its foods, and it was kind of human-ish, right? And they even explained in the movie like Mars became a desolate planet probably because of this alien, and because of it regressed into like a hibernation state, and then then when it came onto the space station, it became active again. Like they brought it back to life, and it has all this stuff that it could feed. And now the whole drama of the movie is like, we can't let this get to Earth because it will destroy Earth. And chaos ensues. Like they just go to town, and the alien destroys everything. It is super cool. Like it was so much fun. Like there's a lot of good jump scares in this movie. It's definitely a good date night movie. I definitely think it's a good date night movie because like your woman or your man's gonna be up on your arm and stuff, being like, "Ooh, the alien's coming." So it's definitely something like that. Like it's a fun movie. What else can I say about this movie? I don't want to talk about the end. I do want to talk about the end. So here comes the spoiler right now. You got 3, 2, 1. I'm going to ruin the ending for this movie because I loved it. Because the movie ending was great. So they have a plan, simple plan. They got to jettison one of the pods out into deep space so it dies. So the alien doesn't get to Earth. And there's only 2 people left. Jake Gyllenhaal and Rebecca Ferguson characters. What are their characters' names? Shoot. Hold on. What's his name? David and Miranda. They're the only 2 that are left. So David's like, yo, I'm the man. I'm going to jettison myself because I love space. And I'm going to go into deep space, die out there with the alien. I can do that because I'm an OG. And then the woman's like, I want to do it. She's the captain or something. I think she's the captain. No, she's the firewall. They call her the firewall. So I guess she's like the wharf of the station where if shit goes down, she's ready to kick some ass and make sure shit doesn't get to Earth. So she's like, I'm going to do it. But they're like, no, let me do it. Because, it's a man's world in space. And he's going to be the hero. The woman could have done it. I'd be down with that. But I think like part of him was like, yo, I got more muscle to hold the stick. You can't handle it and fight the alien. I don't know why they didn't let her do it, but who cares? It's whatever. Who cares? It made me laugh. I'm like, she can go do it, but he doesn't want to go back to Earth. Like he's just got this weird Earth complex. He doesn't care about Earth anymore, so he just wants to die off in space. So he's going to be the hero, which is fine. So here's the twist, though. They both jettison. Everything's going fine, but debris hits a ship. You don't know which ship it is until the very end, because one of the ships do land on Earth. And I was sitting there the whole time. I'm like, please let the alien ship hit Earth. Just do it for us. Don't be a hero movie. And guess what? It hits Earth. You see the final scene of the movie. It's freaking great because she's getting jettisoned into deep space. So she's dead. She's dying. She's done. And you just hear her screaming like, no, like it's so powerful. That moment's so powerful. She's just like, no, like it's so good because she's dead. They tried to save Earth. That was her mission, and she died. And it was great. It was super powerful. Like she was just screaming. That's all you could hear is like, yo, we goofed. So Jake Gyllenhaal's space pod lands on Earth, which is kind of funny because you see this like high tech. We've been in this whole high tech movie this whole time. You see it crash on Earth, and it's near. I would assume like probably like Thailand or maybe even the Philippines, where there's some like river fishermen or boatmen who are fishing, right? So you get to see this like low tech boat with a little boat engine. So just to remind you, like, there's still Earth isn't that far off in technology wise compared to what we're throwing up in space already. And so the little boats go over there, and you can't hear Jake Gyllenhaal say like no, because the aliens encased him. Like all you see is the eyes of Jake Gyllenhaal like this, right? And he's trying to scream like, don't open the hatch. And the fisherman opens the hatch. Then you get the pan out. We don't know what happens. It just ends right there. And then all of a sudden they just cue the music, and that's the end of the movie. And I clapped internally. I was like, yes, that was a great way to end this fucking movie. Bang on. The people that was with me in the crowd, there was about 15 people. It was a very small outing tonight, just 15 people or so, and they actually were like, they loved it too. Like when I'm leaving this theater, they're like, that was a great movie. Like I thought so. Like I felt like a lot of the other people that were with me all came out of there going, I did not expect this from this movie, So hold on, I'm turning something off. So I think. It's an unexpected good film. Like it's just a good film. It's a fun film. My review, my rating is go see it. Like just go see it. Like say you're one of those dudes, you don't want to see Power Rangers. You don't want to see what What did I go see? You don't want to see Power Rangers. You don't want to see Kong. You don't want to see Beauty and the Beast. But you want to go see something? Boom. Boom. Go and see Life. Just go see it. Trust me. I think you'll enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, I don't know. I thought it was a fun movie. If you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it, right? We all got opinions here, right? Whatever. So in the end, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a fun time seeing it. I recommend you go see it, especially if you have nothing else to do or don't want. Like if you don't have anything to do, go see it. If you don't have, if you haven't seen a movie in a while, go see it. Just do it. It's a good movie. It deserves to be making a little bit more than what it's made at the box office, because I think it's only made $12 million so far, and it's a far better movie than just a $12 million movie. Like it is a fun movie, so I highly recommend it. If you've seen it, tell me about it in the comments. Because this is the end of the review, guys. We've come to the end. Thank you for listening. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Leave some comments, like, subscribe. That's what we're calling it now. And drop a comment below so we can have some commentary, back and forth dialogue about this cool movie. And that's really it, guys. That's it. I think the next movie I'm going to see, I'm going to try and see Chips. It's playing at the other end of town, and I take the bus. I don't drive right now, so I got to take the bus there. It's going to be a pain in the ass to go and see it, but I'm going to try. If I don't see it, I'm going to be seeing Ghost in the Shell next, which I think comes out on Saturday night. Yeah, or Friday, sorry. It comes out this week. So I'm definitely going to be seeing Ghost in the Shell, so that review is definitely coming up. And Chips will come if I can get there. I'm going to try and get there Friday night, so we'll see. And I just noticed that the red dot, this thing, glows on my face when I put it too close. So I'm going to put tape over it next time so I don't have this weird red glow on my face. Now I look like I'm part of the Sith Empire. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out and enjoy the movies. I guess that's someone's catchphrase by now, right? Who? Yeah. Have a good one, guys. Oh.